So this is Tetris the Grandmaster. It's Tetris, only with maximum gravity for the second half of the game. And we are FreyasSpirit, and would you like to introduce yourself, Ian?
Hi, I'm Ian. You'll hear my dulcet tones later on hosting as well. I'm also here to help Freyas with some commentary so that they can focus on the fact that these blocks are going to be stacking very quickly.
So with that, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ready.
Alright, so I will do my best to bring the commentary game up to 11 here. What you have here is Tetris the Grandmaster. This is basically if you took single-player Tetris and said, are you done having fun now? It's time to play for real. This game has not only stricter rules as far as rotating pieces. They won't bounce off of floors, they won't bounce off of walls nearly as much as you're used to in newer Tetris games. It also has a grading system. You see that big red 9 in the corner. What we're looking to do is, by the end of this game, that's going to say GM for Grandmaster. That's our goal, but we have a long route to get there. We've got a lot to talk about. First things first, in the bottom left there, you'll see the level number. Wow, we're really flying up levels fast, you might say. That's because every single piece here increments that level counter by 1, and clearing lines also increases that level counter by 1, 2, 3, and 4 for a single, double, triple, and Tetris. The only caveat being, well, we've got to get to 999 of those, except for the fact that it's going to stop every time we get to a 99, called that level stop. And it won't go up until you clear a line, so we can get up to the next section. What we are looking to do is make it all the way through this game, make it all the way to 999, get the highest grade, and we only have about 13 minutes to do it. So you see there, we just went over into the 100 section after Freyas cleared that line there. Ooh. One bit of gentle, one bit of kindness that this game does offer you is that the second a piece touches the stack, it's not locked in yet. You still have moments to move it. And as the speed starts increasing more and more, that's going to become vital. And this is not the most marathon-safe game. That's going to happen sometimes.
Ready.
I'm going to give it another shot here because, I mean, we have to.
We set ourselves. This is we're looking to get a time between 12:30 and 13 minutes, and we gave ourselves a 30-minute time slot. Because we know that we can't get GM consistently every game, because it's really difficult. And even in the submissions, we noted that we have a 50-50 chance of actually making a GM.
So yeah, this is not the most safe game, but what it is a lot of really fast-paced action. You also see one technique that Freyas there is using, combos, which are really important. Because the way that your grade is determined in this game is by score. You see the points on the middle left there. That's what we're looking to increase. And if you clear lines with multiple consecutive pieces, you get more points for them. So, on top of just clearing a lot of lines at once, getting Tetrises, if you can clear lines with a lot of pieces in a row as well, that's just a little extra buffer to your points. Because we're going to need them all. You need 126,000 of them by the end of the game. And in 13 and a half minutes. It's a lot to do, but Freyas up to the task.
There's a score requirement and a time requirement for getting a GM. We're going to meet the time requirement easy if we don't die. So we're focused on getting the score requirement.
Indeed, the time requirements, you've got to get through level 300 in 4 minutes and 15 seconds and have a 1 grade. The grades go, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't cover this before, from 9 to 1, and then from S1 to S9, and then Grandmaster. So at 300, you've got to have a 1 grade, 12,000 points in a little over 4 minutes. You've got to hit 500 with an S4 grade, 40,000 points in 7.5 minutes. And then you complete the game with 126,000 points in less than 13.5 minutes. And you'll get the Grandmaster grade. Easier said than done. This game starts out quick and immediately ramps it up. And then we'll ramp it back down just to tease you, and then ramp it back up again because, well, Tetris the Grandmaster it's not very nice sometimes.
So we are getting some lag right now, and that's throwing us off a bit, so after this one finishes, if this run dies, we're going to take some time to look and see why exactly we're lagging and if there's anything we can do to fix that, because we've never had that happen before.
Yeah, I have an idea, and if this doesn't work...
Oh, it's probably because we're Discord streaming too.
Exactly, yeah, so Fallout failed. I may drop
probably
that.
Just cut that right away.
Yeah. Ooh, very nice little spin there. That's the other nice thing with Tetris the Grandmaster is you may not be able to kick things off things, but you can tuck them underneath like that with those few frames that you get between the piece hitting the stack and locking into place. You do get about a half of a second before that piece locks in, and that can be the matter between life and death in this game. Here's that S1 grade. We're well over that requirement now. You'll notice that the game has slowed down, sped back up, and we're going to get into a section of the game that is not very affectionately called Awkward G coming up. The reason we call it Awkward G is we're referring to the gravity with G in how many spots on the playfield, the well, that a piece drops in a single frame. Right now we're at a pace of about 3 of them every frame it drops, so that piece is flying down the playfield. This game doesn't stop at 3. Sorry, this game goes to 20, so have fun with that. 20G, in case you didn't know, a playfield in Tetris is 20 pieces tall. That's all of them. In other words, you're not going to see the pieces fall for much longer. They're just going to land. But that's just part of the fun. This game takes your Tetris to the next level in ways you don't really expect it to. You've got to learn how to stack a little bit differently. You've got to learn how to plan. The good news is there's a few ways to go about it. In addition to having that next box at the top of the screen, each piece also plays its own individual sound effect when it's coming up next. Not when it's dropping, when it's coming up next, so you know what to plan for. Yeah.
We had no idea. That's amazing. We'll need to get used to that.
It's just another fun way to try and plan about what's coming. Nice little slide down there.
Heck.
The other thing that oh yeah, go ahead and we'll stop the Discord stream.
Yeah, we're also going to quickly check to see if anything else is taking up a bunch of CPU. Okay, there we go.
Working bit.
Ready. Go.
That's unfortunate, but you can feel it playing much more smoothly now.
Alright. The fact that it's playing smoothly is always a good sign.
In a game like this, having a little bit of extra lag makes a huge difference.
Indeed, when you're working with very small numbers of frames of leeway, it can make a huge difference if something falls behind, even for a split second.
Especially when you're trying to go super fast. So again, we're going to be comboing here. If we were going for a PB, we would not be comboing, because comboing is associated, because low score is associated with going slowly. But in a marathon setting, where we're just trying to hit GM once, we are absolutely going to take marathon safe strats. And try and combo as much as possible to hit the score requirement.
To expand on that, the reason that comboing is seen as slow is because every single line clear in this game takes the same number of frames to clear. So when you're trying to go very fast, obviously you want to not have to sit through the animation. Meaning less line clears, meaning more Tetrises. When we're going purely for score like this and just trying to lock down that Grandmaster grade, we'll sacrifice a couple of frames for survival and guaranteeing to get through this.
So in Tetris, every single game is questionable decision percent.
That is not inaccurate.
It's kind of...
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just kind of part of the game.
I've most definitely looked back at games I've played and gone, why did I do that? Because in the heat of the moment, it can be very tricky making some of these decisions.
Once you get to 20G, you'll start seeing pieces, you have to memorize all the rotations and how things will behave. Because in this game, eyes do not have wall kicks.
Right, the long straight pieces, we call them eye pieces. They don't pick up off the floor, so if it lands flat, it's staying there. So you've got to be able to already have it in mind where you're putting it and how you're going to get it over to the side to score your Tetris. Because otherwise, it's just going to sit there and take up the space.
So right here, you're going to see us tuck. This is slow because the pieces are dropping slowly. So if you're going for a PB, we absolutely would have just dropped it as is and build it later. So that's another area where we're just giving up time in order for safety.
Right, and in this case, it's generally only a second or so, and we should have lots more than that to spare. So that's the trick with this 200 section. It slows the game down to a crawl just to mess with you, and then immediately starts ramping it back up without any sort of mercy.
Nice little T-spin.
Yes,
thankfully, this game doesn't give you any extra points for the T-spins.
Unlike newer Tetris games, which are fascinated with them. Never did figure that one out, but sure. You can see the speed is already well back above what it was through the 100 section.
And this is the start of Fast Tetris.
This is only the start. So
for the score requirement, if you can just clear only doubles, we will meet the score requirement. The score requirement isn't that hard. And that's why, how many line clears you get, which means how many Tetrises you get, is the main thing about going fast once you get to a high level.
So we're talking about... Oh, go ahead.
We just got a little bit more lag, and we're really surprised. We have... yeah, that's a lot of lag. We have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Interesting.
Okay, this is not the time for us to be experiencing technical issues. Okay. actually have no idea what's going on at this point, and we will try one more thing to... Yeah, we think we got a CPU spike. We guess we have another couple tries at this.
We definitely have some time left. We probably have some time for some donations, too, in the meantime, while we get this figured out.
Levy.
No donations here on our end, but still have those goals and bid wars going on right now. If you have any excuse to donate to a good cause, Trans Lifeline is a great place to donate to.
Yes, Trans Lifeline is excellent. We just got another lag spike there, and we're not sure what we can do about this without restarting our stream right now, so there's something... Honestly, right now what we'd like to do is restart our computer, but that's not viable in the middle of the run, so... We're just gonna hope that we don't get another lag spike, and if the lag spikes keep continuing, then we're probably just gonna give up on getting GM, and switch to playing just 20G, so everybody can experience 20G with the 20G cheat.
Because 20G is absolutely an experience. Let's see. Friday the 13th strikes again. Yep.
We're incredibly sorry about these technical issues. What's a creative stack shape we've created for ourselves?
Oh. Oh, it's certainly workable, though.
Tetris is a game of making abstract art.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when the pieces don't fall anymore and they just land.
Yeah. Excellent RNG to fill that in. It's potentially a risky placement, but RNG bailed us out completely.
Beautiful little tuck. Those couple of frames you get to decide what you're going to do with that piece can make all the difference. Those tucks are also just an example of the kind of planning you've got to be able to come up with on the fly when you're doing plays basically any Tetris game. Because the RNG is not always the kindest. In a lot of newer Tetris games, the random number generator, the RNG, is fairly generous. It uses what's called a bag system, where it basically takes all 7 Tetris pieces, throws them in a bag, shuffles it up, and then hands them to you one by one. The older Tetris games, and EGM1, don't really look at it like that. They look at you and go, eeny, meeny, miny, whatever. At least many Tetris games, this one included, I do believe, will try, and the keyword in that sentence is try, not to give you the same piece over and over. At least a couple times before it gives up and does it anyway. Alright? Does it anyway.
Words don't matter.
In TGM1, it will re-roll... We think it has a 3-piece memory, and it will re-roll 3 times?
Let me see if I can find that actually real quick.
As compared to Tetris, which has a 1-piece memory, and will re-roll once. So Tetris has a 1 in 49 chance of getting a duplicate. This has way less.
Tetris the Grandmaster also has the thankful little bonus help that it won't start you with the F or Z shaped pieces. The squiggles, if you will.
And that's amazing that they just went out of their way to reduce RNG in a speed game.
That's one of the few concessions that they've decided to give you. 4 history, 4 roll for TGM, says Aperture. That sounds right. So essentially, it's remembering the last 2 pieces it gave you and is kind of trying not to give them to you. Half-heartedly. Just comes in the bottom.
Okay, this is very fillable. And it's filled. One of the reasons why we really like watching better players is watching them do fills that tuck overhangs and fills that you normally wouldn't think about.
Alright, we're now into the 400 section. At this point, these pieces are really starting to fly. They start out coming down 5 spaces every single frame. And then to mess with your head again, Tetris goes, alright, maybe 5 is too fast. Let's do 3 for a little bit.
So this is really bad right now for us. We're down stacking in a state where our score is really low. So we really need to be scoring more right now. We're just not because we're so busy down stacking. And that's what we meant where low scores are associated with going slow. Exactly this situation. So we're gonna see if we can sneak out another Tetris or 2.
Because that grade has to be at S4 by the time that we finish this section.
And it's probably not going to be. We get one more Tetris to work with. Nope. But we'll finish the run anyway.
Still worth finishing so you can see the rest of the game, because, now we are in what's called 20G. From here on out, for the rest of the game, these pieces are not going to fall at all. They're just not. They now hit the stack instantly, and you have half a second to figure out what you're doing with them, because this game runs at 60 frames a second.
Okay, so for the rest of this time, we're just going to interpret the 20G code and play in 20G. And the nice thing about this is because we're no longer playing for consistency, we can just play as fast as we want. We can show off what it would look like if we were going for a PB and just playing as fast as possible.
Well, let's just get a 20 DGM then, shall we?
We have never managed to hit the score requirement for 20 DGM. That would be thoroughly awesome if the first time for that was in the marathon.
No time like the present.
Oh, okay, so how do you even fill that? Like that, probably. Oh, oops. We put the I one too far over to the left. 1 for 2. Okay, that'll. Yeah, that works. Good RNG. I can't fit to the left. Sadly. Amazing RNG. We're getting completely bailed out here.
One of the things about the eyepieces in this game, and in NES Tetris as well, is that they are what we call biased to the right-hand side. It's easier to rotate them to fit into a hole that's on the right instead of on the left. That's why you'll see a lot of players, especially the higher level players, trying to keep that long well that you leave for your Tetrises open on the right side instead of the left. In the case of the eyepiece, the shape that it needs below it is a lot more forgiving on the right-hand side of the screen as opposed to the left, so you get that extra tiny bit of leeway.
this might still be... Oh, bailed out by RNG again.
RNG saving the day once again.
And in many ways, this is really nice that we get to play like this, because without having to play for consistency, we can play so much faster than we normally would be able to. Sometimes you can just wiggle pieces in fascinating ways.
That has most definitely been a strategy I've used before. Smash buttons, see where it goes.
Yes, and like even the demo play on the title screen shows somebody doing exactly that.
The demo play on the title screen shows what it calls different ranks of players, like an example of how they would play. And the S3 rank player apparently has had about 17 cups of coffee before they've played, because they are just smashing the rotate button about 300 times a piece. I wish I could tap that quickly. Every single piece.
So down stacking it feels really good to be able to down stack in 20G. Definitely a really important and difficult skill to pick up.
Down stacking, for those who are not aware, is the art of cleaning up what you've done to yourself over the course of a game of Tetris and getting your stack back into a serviceable shape. And also much lower in the screen, so you have something that can be vaguely mistaken for breathing room.
Oh, that's questionable. That was completely bailed out by RNG, and a missed drop, so we're probably dead.
Ah. I saw the OP's lock.
Now we have a clean stack, so we can just start playing fast again. Until we don't anymore.
I mean, you're technically correct.
Tetris is the game of watching all your mistakes pile up and your successes get removed and get deleted.
Now, was there somebody out there that said, man, Tetris is too easy, let's make a harder version of it?
Yes, the kind folks at Arika, including one Mihara, have basically gone... You don't get to Tetris anymore today, and came up with the Tetris the Grandmaster series. And to think that this is the simplest of the three games to get Grandmaster in.
I'm guessing too many people ended up being, man, Grandmaster is too easy now. I wish there was a harder version of it.
So, I've always joked that Grandmaster 1 just doesn't like you. Tetris the Grandmaster 2 actively wants to kill you. And Tetris the Grandmaster 3 is actually a trained assassin, ready to kill you. They get that difficult.
You like that?
And in the back of my head right now is just playing that song of the entire history of the Soviet Union to the Tetris theme.
So let's see if we can fill this stuff. And it's filled.
I will say that though Tetris the Grandmaster does not use, the Tetris songs you're used to, Korbaniki, it does have a pretty banging soundtrack, so it's the kind of stuff I can listen to in the background and just space out.
So one thing we haven't mentioned is that holes in the center, because pieces drop instantly, holes in the center are much more dangerous than holes towards the edges. So we are actively trying to push holes away from the center towards the edges.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because if you'll notice, especially in this particular version of Tetris, pieces tend to spawn like point down. So any hole in the center is a death trap for a piece. It's going to stick in there and go, this is where I live now.
So how are we doing on time? Because we're just going to keep playing 20G until time.
Got about, it looks like we're at 28 minutes right now.
Okay, so this is going to be the last one.
Yeah, seeing in the chat, Tetris has great trance music. Yeah, Tetris the Grandmaster 3 is how I discovered that I love Dark Psytrance specifically. Ooh.
No, not quite the clear that we thought it would be. No, that's a really good clear. The holes that were really close to the center.
Always so fascinating to watch people play Tetris.
High-level Tetris is absolutely fascinating. Even for somebody like me who literally spends probably several hours a day playing Tetris.
It's absolutely fascinating to see what players who are way better than us can do with this game.
I definitely experienced that earlier, playing online and running into folks that I know that are a lot better than me. Just earlier this afternoon, and watching them play and going, oh, okay.
Really, really good timing for an eye. I probably just saved this run. Okay, this one's done. Yeah, so thank you everybody so much for watching. We're a bit sad that we didn't manage to get a GM, but we hope that we got to show off some awesome Tetris, and thank you, Ian, for commentating.
Absolutely. I'm still super proud of you for all the runs, and we're very sorry about the technical issues at the start. If I'd have thought of that, I would have backed out earlier.
It had nothing to do with the Discord stream. We were still getting lag even in the end, occasionally.
I blame myself anyways.
No one blames anybody.
But yeah, that was awesome, and thank you for having us, and thank you for running this event for Trans Lifeline, because Trans Lifeline is a really, really awesome charity and really important. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you later, too.
Yes. Thank you so much, both of you.